I am a first-generation college student, so it was a very big moment for me to not only get into college, but also to graduate. I went to a small, private liberal arts school, so it was very easy to get integrated there and to become a member of various clubs and activities, and that's exactly what I did. My story started in March of my freshman year of college. It was one night in a weekend. I was walking home from a party, and I decided to call a man whom I was friendly with, but I wouldn't say friends. I ended up going back to his dorm room, and we got up onto his elevated dorm bed, so it was lofted. We started fooling around, and things got out of hand pretty fast. He started biting me hard. My neck, my breast, my vagina. I remember telling him things like, "Please stop, why are you doing this to me?" And he would say things like, "Because I enjoy your reaction." And I remember him taking my underwear off and throwing it over the bed so that it was out of reach for me to be able to grab. Once I finally got out of the bed, I asked him to help me, begged him to help me look for my underwear, and he said that he wouldn't because he wanted to keep them as a prize. I didn't even put my shoes on, and I rushed out of his dorm, and I ran barefoot out over the train tracks to get to my friend's house where she was living. I learned about Bon Secours' forensic nursing examination through my school nurse because I went to go see her shortly after the assault happened, and she said she could examine me herself, but if I wanted to have evidence for a police report, then I needed to go to Bon Secours for a formal examination anyway.
I first met Caitlin several years ago when she came to the forensic nursing department reporting a sexual assault. And the thing that stood out to me most is her shock and disbelief that it occurred. After Caitlin told her story to me, I offered her options for the forensic exam, which included evidence collection and making a police report.
I wanted to start the process because I wanted to seek justice for myself and also for other victims who had experienced similar situations to myself. I knew that there was evidence on my body that could be translated into a PERC examination to be recovered. The PERC exam, it is called a physical evidence recovery kit.
She opted to have evidence collected, so we went into the exam room. She not only wanted the sexual assault evidence collection piece, but she also had physical findings on her body. And so I photographed those areas and then proceeded to collect the evidence utilizing the PERC exam.
My journey with Caitlin was very unique from the standpoint that usually as a detective I'm called out to a particular scene or location where the crime has just occurred. With Caitlin's case, it was a little bit different. She had taken it upon herself to actually go to the forensic nursing unit at Bon Secours prior to contacting law enforcement. So she had sort of gotten the ball rolling along the way before I was ever involved. It led a lot of credence and credibility to her story by the fact that she actually went to the forensic nursing unit first and had that mindset before she actually contacted law enforcement, and I got involved.
In Caitlin's case, I testified in her preliminary hearing. The role of the forensic nurse as an expert witness is to educate the judge and the jury about what a forensic nurse is in the exam that we conduct. We talk about the evidence and how it's crucial and how that may impact a case.
With the forensic side of it that Bon Secours plays a lot of an important role in, you really can't deny the science. Whether it's DNA, other physical evidence, hairs, fibers, everything that's collected during the forensic nursing examination. We work as a team to give the victims a voice and make sure that they are heard, and that's really the most important thing.
The people who believed in me were the ones who needed to believe in me. And that is what kept my heart beating through all of this process. That's what kept me going and kept me motivated. And without them, I would not have made it to the end of all of this, because it was grueling. The experience, the months that passed, sitting in that courtroom, having to see him again, it was terrible. But I would do it all over again to feel the way that I felt hearing him say, "I'm guilty." It was all worth it.
I've been a forensic nurse for over 8 years now. The reason I've been able to be a forensic nurse for this long is because while the work is challenging, it is way more rewarding than it is challenging. And when you have patients that come back and tell you that they're so appreciative of the work that you have done and the impact that you have made in your life, is what makes this work truly worth it.
It's been a season of hope, and I think that's really important to remember, because it can be such a dark and looming time. But if you resonate and you remember all of the good things that have happened along the way, that will get you through it. And there were so many amazing people who got me through it. I had so many people and shoulders to lean on, and I would not be the person I am today or where I am today without them.